Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. Your alarm rings. You reach for your phone. Before your feet even touch the floor, you've already entered someone else's world. Messages, notifications, news, arguments, social media, other people's opinions, other people's achievements, other people's problems. And before you've even had a chance to think about your own life, your mind is already reacting to everything around you. Now imagine a completely different morning. You wake up. You don't immediately reach for your phone. You don't ask what everyone else is doing. You don't allow the outside world to decide your emotional state. Instead, you pause, you breathe, you remember who you are. You remember what matters. You remind yourself that today will contain challenges and that you don't need to be afraid of them. Then you get up, not because you feel motivated, not because the day is going to be easy, but because you have responsibilities. You have a purpose. You have a life to live. This is the mindset we can learn from Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, a philosopher, a man surrounded by war, political pressure, illness, conflict, responsibility, and uncertainty. Yet in the middle of all of this, he repeatedly returned to the same question. How should I live today? Not tomorrow, not next year, not when circumstances become perfect. Today. And that is the foundation of a Stoic morning. Because the goal isn't simply to wake up early. The goal is to wake up consciously. To wake up before the world gets access to your mind. To wake up and choose your attitude before circumstances choose it for you. To wake up and remind yourself, today belongs to me. Not because you control everything that happens. You don't. But because you can control how you meet what happens. And that distinction can completely change your life. Lesson 1. Wake up with purpose, not comfort. One of the first battles you face every morning is incredibly simple. It's the battle between comfort and purpose. The alarm rings. You don't want to get up. Your bed is warm. You're tired. Your mind says, 5 more minutes. You negotiate. 5 minutes becomes 10. 10 becomes 20. And suddenly you've started the day by teaching your mind something. When something is uncomfortable, I escape. That may seem harmless, but habits are built through repetition. Every time you surrender to an impulse, you make that impulse stronger. Every time you resist it, you make your discipline stronger. This is why the first moments of the morning matter. Your first victory doesn't have to be enormous. It can simply be getting out of bed when you said you would. That's it, but don't underestimate it. You're keeping a promise to yourself. Your first decision of the day. Think about how many decisions you'll make today. What to eat, what to wear, what to work on, who to talk to, what to ignore, what to say, what to buy, what to watch, what to prioritize, what to postpone. But before all of those decisions, there's one. Will I get up when I said I would? If you consistently lose that battle, you're beginning the day with a small act of self-betrayal. You told yourself, I'm getting up at 6. Then 6 arrives, and you tell yourself, not today. The problem isn't the extra sleep. The problem is a relationship you're building with your own word. You are teaching yourself that your intentions are negotiable. Stoicism asks you to reverse that. If you make a reasonable commitment to yourself, honor it. Not perfectly, not obsessively, but consistently. Don't wait to feel motivated. This is where many people misunderstand discipline. They believe discipline means feeling motivated enough to do something. It doesn't. Discipline means doing what matters even when your feelings aren't cooperating. You won't always feel like waking up. You won't always feel like exercising. You won't always feel like working. You won't always feel like studying. You won't always feel like being patient. You won't always feel like doing the difficult thing. If your behavior depends entirely on how you feel, your life becomes controlled by changing emotions. One day you're motivated. The next day you're not. One day you're productive. The next day you procrastinate. One day you're focused. The next day you spend hours scrolling. The Stoic doesn't ask, do I feel like doing this? The better question is this something I have decided is worth doing? If the answer is yes, begin. Comfort is not always your friend. Modern life gives us endless ways to avoid discomfort. Entertainment is everywhere. Food is everywhere. Information is everywhere. Distraction is everywhere. The moment you're bored, you can reach for your phone. The moment you're uncomfortable, you can escape into entertainment. The moment you're frustrated, you can distract yourself. The moment you're tired, you can postpone. But a mind that constantly escapes discomfort becomes less capable of handling it. That's why the Stoics valued voluntary discipline. Not because suffering is inherently good, but because being able to tolerate discomfort without immediately obeying the urge to escape makes you stronger. Your morning can become your first training session. When the alarm rings, get up. When the workday feels difficult, continue. When the work feels boring, focus. When your mind wants distraction, return to the task. Small moments of resistance build a stronger character. Lesson 2. Remember that today is not guaranteed. Now imagine something uncomfortable. Imagine that today is the last ordinary morning you will ever experience. No more tomorrow. No more next week. No more I'll do it later. No more waiting for the perfect time. What would you do differently today? How would you speak to people? How would you treat your family? How would you approach your work? Would you still waste hours on meaningless arguments? Would you still obsess over someone's opinion? Would you still postpone the thing that matters? Would you still spend the entire day complaining about minor inconveniences? Probably not. This is one of the most powerful Stoic ideas. Remember that life is temporary, not to make yourself afraid, to make yourself awake. Memento mori, remember you must die. The Stoics frequently reflected on mortality. The phrase memento mori is commonly translated as, remember that you must die. At first, this sounds dark, but the Stoic intention is almost the opposite. Remembering death can make you appreciate life. Think about how easily we waste time. We say, I'll call them later. I'll start tomorrow. I'll take care of it next week. I'll spend more time with them someday. But someday isn't guaranteed. The people you love won't always be here. Your current opportunities won't always be here. Your youth won't always be here. Your health won't always be the same. Your time is moving. And once you understand that, an ordinary morning becomes valuable. Wake up grateful for the ordinary. Think about the things you normally ignore. The ability to open your eyes. The ability to breathe. The ability to walk. The ability to think. The ability to work. The ability to speak to someone you love. The ability to try again. We often appreciate things only after they are gone. Stoic reflection reverses that. It teaches you to appreciate what exists before you lose it. When you wake up tomorrow, don't immediately think, what do I need? Try, what do I already have? You have another day. That's not guaranteed. And that alone is worth appreciating. Gratitude changes the way you see the day. Imagine two people waking up to the same morning. One thinks, another stressful day. The other thinks, I have another day to work on myself. Same morning, different interpretation. One sees a burden. The other sees an opportunity. This doesn't mean pretending problems don't exist. It means refusing to let problems become the only thing you see. You can acknowledge difficulty and still appreciate life. You can have responsibilities and still be grateful. You can be ambitious and still appreciate what you already possess. That's emotional balance. Don't wait for a crisis to appreciate your life. Sometimes people only recognize the value of time when they realize how much they've wasted. They only appreciate health when they are sick. They appreciate relationships after losing them. They appreciate freedom after it's restricted. They appreciate opportunities after they disappear. Don't wait. Look at your life now. What are you taking for granted? Who deserves more appreciation? What opportunity are you postponing? What conversation have you been avoiding? What goal have you been delaying? Your morning is a reminder. You still have time. Use it. Lesson 3. Prepare your mind for difficulty. Now we come to one of the most powerful Stoic morning practices. Before entering the day, expect that something may go wrong. Not because you're pessimistic, because you're realistic. Someone may be rude. Your plans may change. Your internet may fail. Traffic may be terrible. A colleague may frustrate you. Someone may misunderstand you. You may make a mistake. Something you were expecting may not happen. This is life. And if you wake up expecting everything to go perfectly, every inconvenience feels like an attack. But if you wake up expecting obstacles, you're prepared. Expect the unexpected. Imagine leaving your house thinking, Today should be perfect. Then something goes wrong. You become irritated. Why is this happening? Now imagine leaving your house thinking, something may go wrong today. That's normal. I will deal with it. The same problem appears, but your response is different. You expected difficulty. Therefore, difficulty doesn't surprise you. This is a powerful Stoic principle. Don't demand that life be easy. Prepare yourself to meet it well. Negative visualization. The Stoics practice forms of negative visualization. The idea is simple. Briefly imagine potential difficulties before they happen, not to become fearful, to become prepared. Before starting your day, you might say, today, someone may misunderstand me. Today, something may not go according to plan. Today, I may become frustrated. Today, I may face a difficult person. Today, I may experience disappointment. Then tell yourself, if it happens, I will respond with patience and reason. You're rehearsing your response before the challenge arrives. You don't need to fear difficult people. Let's say you know you're going to interact with someone difficult today. Instead of thinking, I hope they don't annoy me. Prepare differently. Tell yourself, they may be impatient. They may be rude. They may misunderstand me. I don't control their behavior. I control mine. Now you've already established your boundary. You don't need to be shocked when they behave badly. You don't need to take every word personally. You don't need to match their emotional intensity. You can remain composed. This is how you protect your peace. Your morning mindset determines your response. The first few thoughts of the day matter because they become the lens through which you interpret everything else. If you wake up thinking, everyone is against me, you'll notice evidence of it everywhere. If you wake up thinking, today will be difficult, you may become tense before anything happens. But if you wake up thinking, whatever happens today, I will meet it with discipline and reason, you've given yourself a powerful foundation. You aren't predicting a perfect day. You're preparing for an imperfect one. The world will try to choose your mood. Every morning, the world is waiting to influence you. Your phone wants your attention. News wants your emotions. Advertising wants your desires. Other people's problems want your energy. Social media wants your comparison. Arguments want your reaction. And if you aren't careful, you can spend the entire day reacting. That's why you need to claim your mind early. Before the world tells you what to think for yourself. Before the world tells you what to care about, decide what matters. Before the world makes you angry, choose your response. Before the world demands your attention, choose where your attention belongs. This is why the morning is so powerful. It's your opportunity to establish direction. Don't give your phone the first word of the day. This may be one of the simplest changes you can make. Don't let your phone become the first thing you consume every morning, because the moment you open it, you're entering hundreds of other people's priorities. Someone else posted. Someone else succeeded. Someone else complained. Someone else is angry. Someone else is selling something. Someone else wants your attention. And suddenly your mind is full before you've even asked what you need from yourself. Instead, give yourself a few minutes first. Silence, breathing, reflection, prayer or meditation, if that fits your beliefs. Writing, reading, walking, thinking, whatever helps you reconnect with yourself. The point isn't the specific activity. The point is, don't surrender your attention before you've consciously chosen where it should go. Don't turn Stoicism into another form of procrastination. This is important. You can watch hundreds of philosophy videos, read dozens of books, listen to motivational speeches, create elaborate morning routines, and still avoid doing the actual work. That's not Stoicism. Stoicism is practical. It's about action. If you know you should exercise, exercise. If you know you should work, work. If you know you should apologize, apologize. If you know you should leave something unhealthy behind, begin moving forward. Philosophy should change behavior. Otherwise, it becomes entertainment. Your morning is a vote for your future. Every morning, you're casting a vote. When you wake up and exercise, you're voting for health. When you read, you're voting for wisdom. When you work on your goals, you're voting for your future. When you resist your phone, you're voting for focus. When you remain patient with someone, you're voting for character. When you get up despite not feeling like it, you're voting for discipline. One morning doesn't transform your life, but repeated mornings do. Your future self is being created by what you repeatedly do today. The real lesson from Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius wasn't writing reminders because his life was easy. He needed reminders precisely because his life was difficult. He had responsibilities. He faced conflict. He experienced loss. He dealt with people he didn't always like. He had reasons to become overwhelmed. Yet he repeatedly returned to discipline, reason, virtue, and duty. That is what makes his philosophy relevant today. You don't need to be an emperor to need self-control. You don't need to command armies to struggle with anger. You don't need political power to struggle with distraction. You don't need wealth to struggle with desire. You're human, and the human mind has always faced many of the same internal battles. Tomorrow morning, remember this. When your alarm rings, remember, this is your first opportunity to practice discipline. When you open your eyes, remember, you have another day that isn't guaranteed. When you think about your responsibilities, remember, challenges aren't interruptions to life. They are part of life. When something goes wrong, remember, your response still belongs to you. When you feel like reaching for your phone immediately, remember, your attention is valuable. Protect it. When you don't feel motivated, remember, you don't need to feel ready to do what matters. And when you finally get up, begin. The morning is not about perfection. Don't become obsessed with having the perfect morning. You don't need to wake up at exactly 5 a.m. You don't need an expensive journal. You don't need a complicated routine. You don't need to meditate for an hour. You don't need to completely eliminate your phone. The Stoic approach is simpler. Wake up, become conscious. Remember what matters. Prepare for difficulty. Choose your character. Then act. That's enough to begin. Because the power isn't in the ritual itself. The power is in the intention behind it. Lesson 4. Control your first thoughts. The moment you wake up, your mind starts producing thoughts. Some are useful. Some are negative. Some are anxious. Some are completely random. And if you aren't careful, you can believe every thought that appears. You wake up thinking, I'm already tired. Then, I have too much work. Then, I don't want to deal with these people. Then, what if something goes wrong? Then, I'm already behind. And before you even leave your bedroom, you created an entire emotional atmosphere. But here's something important. A thought appearing in your mind doesn't mean you have to accept it. You can observe a thought without obeying it. You are not every thought you think. Imagine your mind as a room. Throughout the day, thoughts walk through that room. Some are helpful. Some are useless. Some are fearful. Some are angry. Some are hopeful. Some are ridiculous. You don't have to invite every thought to stay. This is where Stoic awareness becomes powerful. When a negative thought appears, don't immediately say, this is true. Instead ask, is this useful? If you wake up thinking, today is going to be terrible, ask, do I know that? No, you don't know. It's a prediction. So replace it with something more grounded. I don't know what today will bring, but whatever happens, I can choose my response. That is a Stoic thought, not unrealistic optimism, not pessimism, prepared realism. Your first thought doesn't have to control your day. Maybe you wake up feeling anxious. That's okay. You don't have to panic because you're anxious. Maybe you wake up unmotivated. That's okay. You don't have to surrender your responsibilities. Maybe you wake up frustrated. That's okay. You can still choose patience. The goal isn't to wake up feeling perfect. The goal is to wake up conscious enough to choose your response. There's an enormous difference between, I feel anxious, therefore today will be bad, and I feel anxious. Let me slow down and decide what needs to be done. The first is reaction. The second is self-control. Don't spend your morning worrying about things you cannot control. Imagine waking up worried about what someone thinks of you. Can you control their opinion? No. You can control your behavior, but not their thoughts. Imagine worrying about whether everyone will like you. Can you guarantee that? No. You can be respectful. You can be kind, but you can't control their preferences. Imagine worrying about whether everything will go according to plan. Can you guarantee that? No. You can prepare. But life remains unpredictable. So why spend your morning obsessing over things you cannot command? Bring your attention back. Ask, what is actually mine to control? Your choices, your effort, your attitude, your words, your preparation, your discipline, your response. That's where your power is. Lesson 5. Prepare for difficult people. One of the most useful Stoic morning practices is preparing yourself for human behavior, because people will test your patience. Someone will interrupt you. Someone will misunderstand you. Someone will be rude. Someone may be selfish. Someone may be arrogant. Someone may complain. Someone may criticize you. Someone may try to provoke you. If you expect everyone to behave exactly as you want, you'll spend your life frustrated. But Marcus Aurelius repeatedly reminded himself to expect difficult behavior from difficult people. Why? Because expectation changes reaction. Don't be surprised by human imperfection. Think about how often we say, "I can't believe they did that." But why are you surprised? People are imperfect. They make mistakes. They become emotional. They act selfishly. They misunderstand. They react without thinking. You do too. That doesn't mean you tolerate abuse or allow people to violate your boundaries. It means you don't expect human beings to behave perfectly. That expectation alone can remove enormous frustration from your life. When someone provokes you, suppose someone says, "You're not as smart as you think you are." Your ego immediately wants to respond, "And you're not as intelligent as you think you are either." Now you've entered the fight. But what if you simply pause? Maybe say, "That's your opinion." Or say nothing. You haven't lost. You've simply refused to surrender control. The person may still be rude, but they no longer control your emotional state. That's strength. You don't have to match someone's energy. This is an important principle. If someone is angry, you don't have to become angry. If someone is rude, you don't have to become rude. If someone is impatient, you don't have to become impatient. If someone is chaotic, you don't have to become chaotic. Their behavior belongs to them. Your behavior belongs to you. You can remain calm while someone else is losing control. And sometimes your calmness is more powerful than any argument. Lesson 6. Separate the event from your interpretation. This may be one of the most important Stoic mental practices. Something happens, then your mind gives it meaning. And often, the meaning creates more suffering than the event itself. Someone doesn't reply to your message. The event, they haven't replied. Your interpretation, they don't respect me. Then, they don't care about me. Then, maybe they hate me. Then, I must have done something wrong. Notice what happened. The original event was small. Your interpretation became enormous. Don't add suffering to the event. Imagine you're stuck in traffic. That's the event. Then your mind says, "This always happens. I'm going to be late. Everyone is incompetent. This day is ruined." Now you're suffering emotionally. But traffic itself isn't angry at you. It isn't trying to ruin your day. It's simply traffic. Your interpretation added another layer. A Stoic doesn't deny inconvenience. They simply avoid adding unnecessary mental suffering to it. Ask, what can I do now? Maybe you can call ahead. Maybe you can listen to something useful. Maybe you can simply accept the delay. That's enough. Your morning can train this skill. When you wake up, remind yourself, "Today, I will separate facts from stories." If someone behaves strangely, don't immediately create a narrative. If plans change, don't immediately assume disaster. If someone criticizes you, examine the criticism. If you make a mistake, don't turn it into an identity crisis. Return to the facts. This one habit can dramatically improve emotional stability. Lesson 7. Build discipline before you need it. Imagine you're in the middle of a difficult day. You're exhausted. You're frustrated. You have 10 things to do. Your phone keeps distracting you. Someone is bothering you. Your motivation is gone. And then you tell yourself, "Now I need to become disciplined." Too late. Discipline isn't something you suddenly activate when life becomes difficult. It's something you practice during ordinary moments. That's why the morning matters. The morning is your daily training ground. Keep one promise to yourself every morning. Choose one simple promise. Maybe I will exercise for 20 minutes. Maybe I will spend the first 30 minutes without my phone. Maybe I will write my priorities before checking messages. Maybe I will read 10 pages. Maybe I will begin my most important task before entertainment. Keep the promise, then do it again tomorrow. And again, you are building self-trust. Self-trust is more important than motivation. Think about someone you can't trust. They promise something. You don't believe them. Why? Because their words don't match their actions. Now imagine doing the same thing to yourself. You say, "I'll start tomorrow." Tomorrow arrives. You don't. Again, "I'll exercise Monday." Monday arrives. You don't. Again, "I'll stop wasting time." You don't. Eventually, part of your mind stops believing you. This is why discipline matters. Every time you keep a small promise to yourself, you're saying, "My word means something." That creates self-respect. Don't make your morning too complicated. A common mistake is creating a morning routine with 20 steps. Wake up, meditate, journal, read, exercise, cold shower, visualize, plan, affirm, stretch, study, and after 3 days, you're exhausted. Keep it simple. Stoic philosophy is not about collecting rituals. It's about developing character. You can have a powerful morning with 3 things: reflection, preparation, action. Reflect on what matters. Prepare for difficulty. Then act. That's enough. The Stoic Morning Declaration. Here's a simple declaration you can read or say silently each morning. Today I will meet people who may be impatient, distracted, selfish, or difficult. I cannot control their behavior. I can control my own. Today I may face inconvenience. I will not demand that life be perfect. Today I may experience frustration. I will pause before reacting. Today I may fail. I will learn instead of surrendering. Today I may be criticized. I will examine the criticism without becoming controlled by it. Today I may be tempted by comfort. I will remember what I value more. Whatever happens today, I will focus on what is within my control. And I will try to leave this day a little wiser, calmer, and stronger than I entered it. That is a powerful way to begin. Your morning should make you harder to disturb. Imagine starting every day this way. You wake up, you reflect, you prepare, you choose. Then the world begins. Someone sends an irritating message. You don't immediately respond. Someone criticizes you. You listen. Traffic becomes chaotic. You breathe. Your plans change. You adapt. You make a mistake. You correct it. Someone disappoints you. You accept reality. You encounter temptation. You remember your values. That's what a Stoic morning is really creating. Not a perfect day, a more capable person. Don't confuse calmness with passivity. There's an important distinction here. Stoicism doesn't mean becoming passive. Being calm doesn't mean allowing people to walk over you. Being patient doesn't mean having no boundaries. Accepting reality doesn't mean accepting injustice. Silence doesn't mean weakness. You can be calm and still take action. You can be peaceful and still say no. You can be patient and still walk away. You can accept reality and still work to change what is within your control. The Stoic asks, what action is appropriate? Then act without unnecessary emotional noise. Control yourself before trying to control your circumstances. Let's say you have a difficult project. You can't control every variable, but you can control your preparation. You can control your effort. You can control your attitude. You can control whether you procrastinate. You can control whether you panic. You can control whether you learn. This is where the Stoic circle control becomes incredibly useful. Draw 2 imaginary circles. Inside the first, your control, your actions, your decisions, your effort, your words, your habits, your response. Outside, other people's opinions, the weather, the past, unexpected events, other people's behavior, the final outcome. Your job is to put your energy where it belongs. Stop trying to control the outcome. This is difficult. You work hard. You want success. You want the promotion. You want the relationship to work. You want the business to grow. You want people to appreciate you. You want everything to go according to plan. But outcomes involve variables you cannot completely control. Your job is to give your best effort, then accept the result. That doesn't mean you don't care. It means your identity doesn't depend entirely on the outcome. You can say, I will control my effort. I will accept the result. That mindset creates enormous peace. The morning is your first act of leadership. You may never lead an army like Marcus Aurelius. You may never govern an empire, but you still have something to govern. Yourself, your mind, your attention, your emotions, your habits, your time, your decisions, your behavior. And if you can't govern yourself, external success won't necessarily make you peaceful. You can have money and still be anxious. You can have status and still be insecure. You can have influence and still be controlled by anger. You can have everything externally and still lack internal discipline. The Stoics understood that the greatest kingdom you can govern is the one inside you. Don't wake up to escape life. Some people wake up already wishing the day were over. They hate Mondays. They dread responsibilities. They constantly wait for weekends. They live for vacations. They count the hours until work ends. But Stoicism asks you to change your relationship with the present. You don't have to love every task. You don't have to enjoy every responsibility. But you can choose to approach today with dignity. This is your life, not a rehearsal, not a waiting room. Your life is happening today. So don't spend every morning trying to escape it. Enter it consciously. Your responsibilities are part of your training. Marcus Aurelius had responsibilities he couldn't simply walk away from. Neither do you. You have tasks, people who depend on you, problems to solve, things to learn, work to complete. The Stoic doesn't constantly ask, how can I avoid responsibility? They ask, how can I perform my responsibility well? That question transforms work. Instead of seeing every responsibility as a burden, you begin seeing it as an opportunity to practice virtue. Work teaches discipline. Difficult people teach patience. Uncertainty teaches acceptance. Failure teaches resilience. Success teaches humility. Every part of life becomes training. When you don't feel like it, there will be mornings when everything in you says, not today. Those mornings matter. Not because you should force yourself through genuine exhaustion or ignore your body's needs, but because sometimes the obstacle isn't exhaustion, it's resistance. You simply don't want to do the difficult thing. That's when you remember. You don't have to want to do it. You only have to begin. 5 minutes, 1 step, 1 page, 1 email, 1 exercise, 1 decision. Start. Motivation often follows action. The difference between a weak morning and a stoic morning. A weak morning says, what do I feel like doing? A stoic morning asks, what needs to be done? A weak morning says, I hope nothing goes wrong. A stoic morning says, something may go wrong, and I will handle it. A weak morning says, what will people think? A stoic morning says, what is the right thing to do? A weak morning says, I need everything to go my way. A stoic morning says, I will control what belongs to me and accept the rest. That's the difference. Final message. Before the day begins, train your mind. Because once the world starts moving, you'll have less time to think. Messages will arrive. Problems will appear. People will demand things. Unexpected events will happen. Your emotions will rise. Your attention will be pulled in different directions. So prepare before the storm. Wake up and remember, you are not your first thought. You are the person who decides what to do with that thought. You are not your first emotion. You are the person who decides whether to obey it. You are not your circumstances. You are the person who chooses how to respond to them. You are not other people's opinions. You are the person responsible for your character. And you don't need to control everything. You need to control what belongs to you. Your attention, your effort, your response, your discipline, your character. Tomorrow morning, don't immediately ask, what's happening in the world? Ask, what's happening inside me? Don't immediately ask, who needs something from me? Ask, what do I need to become today? Don't immediately ask, what problems will I face? Ask, how will I respond to them? And before you step into the world, make one decision. Whatever happens today, I will not surrender control of myself. That is how you begin to think like a Stoic. That is how you build mental resilience. That is how you protect your peace. And that is how you prepare yourself to face the day before the day has a chance to control you. But there's one final step. Knowing what to do isn't enough. You need a repeatable morning system that turns these principles into habits. By now, we've established something important. A powerful morning isn't about waking up at a particular hour. It's not about having an elaborate routine. It's not about pretending to be positive. And it's certainly not about becoming emotionless. The real goal is much deeper. The goal is to take possession of your mind before the world tries to take possession of it. Marcus Aurelius lived in a world filled with responsibilities, uncertainty, conflict, illness, political pressure, and difficult people. Yet he continually reminded himself to return to reason, discipline, virtue, and the task immediately in front of him. And that's a lesson we can take into our own mornings. You don't need to become an emperor. You need to become the leader of your own mind. So in this final part, we're going to turn everything we've discussed into a practical system. A morning routine that isn't designed merely to make you productive, but to make you calmer, stronger, more disciplined, and harder to disturb. The first rule, don't let the world wake up before you do. When you open your eyes, you have a choice. You can immediately enter the world of notifications, messages, opinions, news, entertainment, and comparison. Or you can spend a few moments with yourself first. This is one of the simplest ways to reclaim your attention, because attention is one of the most valuable resources you possess. Where your attention goes, your mind follows. And where your mind repeatedly goes, your life eventually follows. If the first thing you consume every morning is outrage, don't be surprised if you feel angry. If it's comparison, don't be surprised if you feel inadequate. If it's entertainment, don't be surprised if work feels boring. If it's other people's success, don't be surprised if your own life suddenly feels insufficient. So protect your first moments. Don't give the world immediate access to your mind. The 10-minute Stoic morning routine. Let's create something practical. You don't need an hour. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't need a complicated schedule. Start with 10 intentional minutes. 10 minutes where you don't react. You don't scroll. You don't compare. You don't consume. You simply prepare. Let's walk through it. Minute 1. Wake up without negotiating. The alarm rings. Your mind immediately starts negotiating. 5 more minutes. I'm tired. I'll do it tomorrow. This is where you make the first decision. Get up. Don't spend 10 minutes debating with yourself. If you've decided to wake up at a reasonable time, honor the decision. Your goal isn't to prove that you need less sleep than everyone else. Your goal is to practice keeping your word to yourself. Get out of bed, stand up, take a breath, and tell yourself, the day has begun. No drama, no negotiation. Begin. Minute 2. Remember that you are alive. Before thinking about your problems, remember your existence. You woke up. You have another opportunity to act, another opportunity to learn, another opportunity to improve, another opportunity to appreciate someone, another opportunity to correct a mistake, another opportunity to become better. You don't know how many mornings you have left. That thought isn't supposed to frighten you. It's supposed to wake you up emotionally. Because sometimes the greatest tragedy isn't that life ends. It's that people spend years living as if they have unlimited time. They don't. Neither do you. So use today. Minute 3. Practice gratitude. Think about 3 things you currently have. They don't need to be extraordinary. Maybe you have a person who cares about you. Maybe you have a place to sleep. Maybe you have work. Maybe you have an opportunity. Maybe you have your health. Maybe you simply have another morning. Gratitude doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means recognizing that even an imperfect life contains things worth appreciating. And this matters because constant dissatisfaction can become a habit. You can train your mind to constantly notice what's missing, or you can train it to recognize what's present. Choose a second. Minute 4. Remember mortality. Now take a moment to remember. Your time is limited. Don't turn this into a dark meditation. Make it practical. Ask, if I knew this day was precious, how would I use it? Would you waste 2 hours arguing online? Would you obsess over someone who doesn't care about you? Would you spend the entire morning scrolling? Would you postpone the work that matters? Would you continue a habit you know is damaging you? Maybe not. Mortality clarifies priorities. It reminds you that time is not something you can save for later. Once a day is gone, it's gone. Minute 5. Visualize difficulty. Now prepare for reality. Say to yourself, today may not go according to plan. Someone may disappoint you. Someone may be rude. You may encounter delays. You may make mistakes. Your plans may change. Something unexpected may happen. That's okay. You don't need to predict the exact problem. You only need to prepare your response. Tell yourself, whatever happens, I will respond with reason rather than impulse. This is mental armor. You're not expecting disaster. You're simply refusing to be shocked by the fact that life is unpredictable. Minute 6. Choose your virtue. Choose one quality to practice today. Maybe today is about patience. Tell yourself, today I will not rush to anger. Maybe it's discipline. Today I will do what I said I would do. Maybe it's courage. Today I will do the difficult thing instead of avoiding it. Maybe it's humility. Today I will listen before assuming I know everything. Maybe it's wisdom. Today I will think before reacting. One virtue, one focus, one direction. Minute 7. Identify what you can control. Now ask, what is within my control today? Your effort? Yes. Your attitude? Yes. Your preparation? Yes. Your words? Yes. Your response? Yes. Other people's opinions? No. Other people's behavior? No. The weather? No. The past? No. Every possible outcome? No. This simple distinction can save you enormous mental energy. Stop spending your morning trying to control the uncontrollable. Put your energy where it produces results. Minute 8. Identify your most important task. Now choose one thing that truly matters. Not 20 things. 1. What is the task that, if completed today, would make you feel that the day was meaningful? Maybe it's an important work project. Studying, writing, exercising, building your business, making an important decision, having a difficult conversation. Whatever it is, identify it. Then protect time for it. Because if you don't decide what matters, your environment will decide for you. And your environment usually doesn't care about your priorities. Your phone wants your attention. Other people want your attention. Entertainment wants your attention. Choose deliberately. Minute 9. Remind yourself who you are becoming. Ask, what kind of person am I trying to become? This question is more powerful than, what do I want? Because goals describe outcomes. Character describes identity. You may want success, but are you becoming disciplined? You may want wealth. Are you becoming responsible? You may want respect. Are you becoming respectable? You may want peace. Are you becoming emotionally stable? You may want confidence. Are you becoming competent? Don't focus only on what you want to obtain. Focus on who you must become to handle it. Minute 10. Move. The final minute is about action. Stand up, walk, stretch, exercise, make your bed, open your notebook, begin the important task, do something physical. Why? Because reflection without action becomes procrastination. You don't need to think about your life for 3 hours. You need to live it. The Stoic doesn't endlessly prepare for action. Eventually, they act. So move. Start the day. The most important part of the routine. You may notice something. This routine isn't really about 10 minutes. It's about the sequence. Awareness, gratitude, acceptance, preparation, intention, action. That's the foundation. And once you understand that, you can adapt the routine to your own life. Maybe you have 5 minutes. Use 5. Maybe you have 20. Use 20. Don't become obsessed with the ritual. Become committed to the principle. What Marcus Aurelius teaches us about difficult people. Now imagine you completed your morning routine. You leave the house, and immediately someone frustrates you. This is where your preparation gets tested. Remember what you told yourself. People may be difficult today. I will control my response. So when someone is rude, pause. When someone interrupts, pause. When someone criticizes, pause. When someone tries to provoke you, pause. You don't need to respond immediately. That pause is power, because between what happens and what you do next, there is a small space. Self-control lives inside that space. Your emotions are information, not commands. This is a crucial distinction. You feel angry. That doesn't mean you must attack. You feel afraid. That doesn't mean you must run. You feel jealous. That doesn't mean you must compete. You feel tempted. That doesn't mean you must surrender. You feel discouraged. That doesn't mean you must quit. Your emotions can provide information, but they don't automatically deserve authority. You are the decision maker. What to do when your morning goes wrong. Here's something important. Your stoic morning will not guarantee a good day. You'll still have difficult mornings. You may oversleep. You may forget your routine. You may wake up angry. You may become distracted. You may lose your temper. Don't turn stoicism into another reason to criticize yourself. If you fail in the morning, restart. You can begin again at 9 a.m. You can begin again at noon. You can begin again at 4 p.m. There is no rule saying, I already ruined today, so I might as well continue. That's another form of emotional thinking. One bad hour doesn't require a bad day. Don't let one bad moment become your whole day. Maybe you wake up late. You become frustrated. Then you say, today is already ruined. No, the morning was difficult. That's all. Don't turn an event into an identity. Don't turn one mistake into a story about yourself. Don't turn one bad moment into an excuse to surrender the entire day. Reset, breathe, ask, what can I do now? Then do it. This is one of the most powerful stoic habits you can develop. Build a morning that reduces decision fatigue. Another reason routines work is that they remove unnecessary decisions. If you wake up and immediately ask, should I exercise? You have already created a debate. Instead, decide beforehand. I exercise every morning at this time. No debate. If you ask, should I check social media? Decide beforehand. I don't check it until I completed my first important task. Again, no debate. The fewer unnecessary negotiations you have with yourself, the easier discipline becomes. Your morning environment matters. Don't rely entirely on willpower. Design your environment. Put your phone away from your bed. Prepare your clothes the night before. Keep your journal nearby. Put your book somewhere visible. Prepare your workout equipment. Make the disciplined choice easier. The Stoics emphasize rational action, and rational action includes understanding how your environment affects your behavior. Don't make distraction convenient and discipline difficult. Reverse it. Stop starting your day with comparison. One of the most destructive morning habits is comparison. You wake up, open social media. Someone bought a new car. Someone got married. Someone started a business. Someone is traveling. Someone looks successful, and suddenly your life feels inadequate. But remember, you're comparing your ordinary life to carefully selected moments from someone else's. That's not reality. Your path is yours. Your responsibilities are yours. Your timeline is yours. Don't begin your day by measuring your worth against strangers. Begin your day by measuring yourself against the person you were yesterday. The Stoic doesn't need every day to feel good. This is important. You will have bad days. Some mornings will feel heavy. Some days you'll lack motivation. Some days you'll doubt yourself. Some days you'll make mistakes. The goal isn't to eliminate these experiences. The goal is to stop treating them as reasons to abandon your principles. You can feel bad and still act well. You can be afraid and still be courageous. You can be frustrated and still be patient. You can be tired and still do what is reasonable. You can be disappointed and still remain grateful. This is emotional maturity. Discipline is doing the right thing without needing the right feeling. This is perhaps the sentence you should remember from this entire video. You don't need the right feeling to make the right decision. You can feel lazy and still work. You can feel afraid and still speak. You can feel angry and still remain calm. You can feel tempted and still walk away. You can feel uncertain and still take the next step. Feelings change. Values remain. Let your values guide your behavior. A night before preparation. If you want to wake up like a Stoic, don't begin your preparation only in the morning. Prepare the night before. Before sleeping, ask, what matters tomorrow? Choose your priority. Prepare your clothes. Set your alarm. Put your phone away. Write down what you need to accomplish. Then go to sleep knowing what tomorrow requires. This reduces morning chaos. And it means you don't wake up trying to figure out your entire life. You already have direction. The Stoic evening reflection. Marcus Aurelius frequently reflected on his own behavior. You can do something similar at night. Ask yourself, where did I show self-control today? Then, where did I lose control? Then, what did today teach me? And finally, how can I do slightly better tomorrow? No self-hatred, no excuses, just honest examination. That's how you improve. Your life becomes what you repeat. One morning doesn't change you. One motivational video doesn't change you. One journal entry doesn't change you. But repetition does. Wake up with purpose. Again, control your attention. Again, practice patience. Again, keep your promises. Again, reflect. Again. Eventually, these actions become habits. And habits become character. And character determines how you respond when life becomes difficult. That's the real goal. Don't carry yesterday into today. Imagine someone insults you on Monday. You replay it Monday night, then Tuesday morning, then Wednesday, then Thursday. The event happened once, but you keep experiencing it repeatedly in your mind. That's unnecessary suffering. You can't change what they said, but you can decide whether to continue carrying it. Ask, is there anything I can do about this now? If yes, act. If no, release it. You don't have to keep paying emotional rent for something that happened yesterday. The Stoic morning mantra. Here is a short mantra you can use every morning. Today is mine to live. I will not waste it worrying about what I cannot control. I will not surrender my attention to distractions. I will not allow another person's behavior to determine my character. I will do what is necessary even when I don't feel like it. I will accept difficulty without becoming bitter. I will meet uncertainty with courage. I will control my response. I will focus on what matters. And tonight, I will be able to say that I lived today deliberately. Say it slowly. Don't just repeat the words. Live them. The real power of a Stoic morning. A Stoic morning doesn't guarantee success. It guarantees something more useful. Preparation. You are prepared to meet the day. Prepared for uncertainty. Prepared for difficult people. Prepared for temptation. Prepared for discomfort. Prepared for failure. Prepared for success. And because you've already decided how you want to respond, you are less likely to be controlled by the moment. That's what makes the morning powerful. You aren't trying to control the day. You're preparing to control yourself within the day. Become the person who can handle what you ask for. Maybe you want success. Then build discipline. Maybe you want respect. Build character. Maybe you want peace. Learn emotional control. Maybe you want freedom. Master your impulses. Maybe you want confidence. Build competence. Maybe you want a better life. Become capable of handling it. Because sometimes we ask life for things we're not yet prepared to manage. The morning is where you begin preparing. One decision at a time. Wake up before the world tells you who to be. Tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes, remember, the world is going to tell you what matters. Your phone will tell you what to look at. Social media will tell you what success looks like. Other people will tell you what you should want. Your emotions will tell you what to avoid. Your comfort will tell you to stay in bed. But you don't have to obey all of them. Pause, think, choose, then act. Because your life becomes increasingly powerful when you stop living entirely by impulse. Remember this when you wake up, when the alarm rings. Get up when your mind complains. Listen, but don't obey automatically. When you feel uncomfortable, remember why you started. When something goes wrong, return to what you control. When someone provokes you, pause. When you feel discouraged, take the next step. When you fail, learn. When you succeed, remain humble. When people praise you, stay grounded. When people criticize you, examine, then release what isn't useful. And when the day ends, reflect. Ask yourself, did I live according to my values today? If the answer is yes, be grateful. If the answer is no, learn. Then wake up tomorrow and practice again. The Stoic morning in one sentence. If you remember only one sentence from this entire video, remember this. Wake up each morning prepared to control yourself, not the world. Because you can't control everything. You never will. But you can control your attention, your effort, your words, your habits, your discipline, your reactions, your choices, and ultimately, your character. That's enough. More than enough. Tomorrow morning, the world will still be chaotic. People will still have opinions. Problems will still exist. Your responsibilities will still be waiting. Unexpected things will happen. But you don't have to meet that chaos with chaos. You can meet it with calmness. You can meet it with discipline. You can meet it with courage. You can meet it with reason. You can meet it as someone who has already decided, I will not give away control of myself. So wake up, take a breath, look at the day ahead, and remember, you don't need to know everything that will happen. You only need to know how you want to respond. You don't need to control tomorrow. You need to use today wisely. You don't need to become Marcus Aurelius. You need to become the person your future self will be proud of. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone, before you check the notifications, before you enter the noise, give yourself a moment and say, I have been given another day. I will not waste it. Whatever happens, I will control what belongs to me. I will act with discipline. I will respond with wisdom. I will accept what I cannot change. And I will leave this day stronger than I entered it. Then get up, open the door, step into the world, and live deliberately. Because the strongest version of you isn't created someday in the future. It is created quietly, every morning. One decision, one habit, one disciplined action, one controlled reaction, one day at a time. Wake up with purpose, live with discipline, respond with wisdom, and master yourself before trying to master the world. That is the Stoic way.